You kept a series of memos. You began keeping a record of your conversations with the president and his actions. What was the first incident that led you to write that first memo to self?
The first memo was actually done for the benefit of my colleagues, the directors of NSA, CIA, and the DNI, because I was in part recording what had happened in a private session that we had planned for me to have. And so that one was less an aide de memoire and more a classified briefing for the others.
Related to?
Related to the Trump Tower, where we briefed the president on the findings of the intelligence community assessment. And so part of that was trying to protect myself and the FBI, but a big part of it was making a record for the others so they knew what had happened. But after that, when I had encounters with the president, especially the dinner that we had on the 27th of January, and we were touching on things that affected the FBI and me personally, affected him personally, and we were alone, I thought then I have to be able to remember this in detail someday. And so that's when I really began the process of what I thought of as almost a personal memo diary.
What did you expect you would use them for? And did you anticipate or guess that the president would be under criminal investigation?
I expected that I hoped that I would never use them, that they'd never be necessary, that there would never come a time when his account of something would be different than mine, but I knew that could happen, which is why I wanted it. Now, the second question, did I imagine the president might be under criminal investigation? Sure. In fact, that was at the core of the advice.
A little news.
Yeah. Well, the reason I say that is I was under among the advice I recount in my book was the general counsel of the FBI, Jim Baker, when we were discussing whether I could go to that very first encounter with him with we're not investigating you personally in my back pocket. His advice was, look, that's problematic because inevitably a look at whether there was a connection between the campaign and Russia is going to touch him in some way. And so that's a slippery slope in a way that you ought to be careful about. So we discussed it and contemplated the possibility very early on.
Okay.